Hi everyone, this is Mike, N9HEL, and this is an instructional video on how to add custom data to the Nassau Centered Code Plug and still be able to receive updates to the Nassau Centered Code Plug without destroying your custom data. This video will be mainly for people who are doing custom programming. If you're not doing custom programming but want to maintain your custom button settings or maybe sound settings or stuff other than channel data, you can do that by just uploading files that I'm going to be sending out, and I will show you right now. These four files right here, channel, scan list, talk group, and zone, are the files you will be importing and still maintain your buttons. These are also the channels that those of you that are doing custom programming will edit and import to keep the code plugs in sync. So let's move on. Things you're going to need is certainly the Anytone CPS 2.05 software, which I believe all of you have, and hopefully you're a little familiar with that. File Manager on your Windows system, and Notepad++. This is the preferred editor that I like to use for this task. You can download it at this URL here. Click the installer for either the 32 or 64-bit installation, depending on your Windows system. Most of it's going to be 64 bits. I like to keep all three of these apps pinned to the taskbar. That's down here. If we take a look, here's this one's CPS right here, and here is the File Explorer, and right here is the Notepad++. Makes it easy to access. I've got instructions in the documentation that I'm going to be sending out also on how to do this, so if you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead. I'm going to give you a moment to take a look at this. You can hit pause here and copy this information down if you want to get started right away. Okay, moving on. Let me close this off. First thing we're going to look at is, all right, where do I put the custom data? Well, here is the channel data in the standard code plug right here, and we're going to look at this. What I'd like you to do, and this will also be in the documentation, is put your custom stuff starting at line 1500 and beyond. I got some custom stuff out here. Well, my custom stuff's out at 3000. So here's my custom stuff down at, if we look at that, whoops, we don't want to do that. If we look at this and we see my stuff starts at line 3000. CPS bases a lot of things on this column number here, so you want to be very careful about that. So we're going to put this at 3000, and that gives a lot of room for the centric code plug stuff before that. Now we're going to look at zone. Okay, and here's the zones in the custom code plug, and if we look down at line 60, that's where you're going to start your custom zone. If we look at the scan list, there's the scans that are currently out in the centric code plug. If we go down here at line 60, we're starting our custom scans. Now if we go into digital and to talk groups, we're going to see here are the talk groups that are in the centric code plug. And if we go down to 200, that's where we're starting the custom talk groups. I have a couple ideas on this. The reason I put this at 200, I wanted to put this farther down, but if you go farther than 250, it seems like that CPS blows up. So there is this is a known bug right now in CPS, but that should give us plenty of room, and I'm going to talk about adding custom talk groups anyway. Okay, first thing we need to do is, we've got a custom code plug, and you've received an update from me. What do I do? Well, we're going to go into File Explorer, and these are the files you're going to receive from me. As we can see, the four files here. Now I've created a folder called My Code Plugs. You can create another folder, call it whatever the heck you want. It's a good idea to keep this stuff all together. And I'm going to go into My Code Plugs, and this is my code plug with the custom programming. I've saved it to this folder. I'm going to create a new folder in here called Export. And this is where we're going to export and keep our export files. Every time you get an update from me and you're going to merge your custom stuff with the new stuff I've sent you, the first thing you want to do is load up your code plug in CPS and export it. So we're going to do that right now. We've got CPS open here. So we're going to go into Tools and Export. And we're going to click on, at the top here, Export All. And we're going to see, we're going to have to find our My Code Plugs our folder here, and the export folder. And we're going to want to open up the export folder, and we're going to need a file name here. What this file name is, export is going to put all of the files from the export. It puts out about 8 or 9 files. And it's going to put all the file names and locations into this file. We're going to call it list. Very simple. You'll never ever refer to this, so not a big deal, but it's got to be there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to say yes to export all of the data. And I always hit export here just for fun, just to make sure. And what this is going to do is, okay, so we see it's starting to export. This is going to take a while because it's also going to export all of the contact data. So I'm going to hit pause here while this is going on and not waste everybody's time. And I'll catch up with you in a couple of seconds. Okay, we're back again. That took probably a good 3 or 4 minutes. Export is complete. We're going to say OK. And if we go into File Explorer and we open up the export folder, look at all that. Okay, that's all the export files. And the things we're going to be concerned about are channel and zone down here, scan list, and what am I missing? Talk group. Talk group. Where's talk group? There's talk groups. Okay, so we're going to be interested in those 4, but we will take a look at that in a moment. Okay, what we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to open up our editor. So here's Notepad++. And what we're going to do is we're going to put your stuff on the left and the new stuff you receive from me on the right. So we're going to be moving your custom stuff from the left to the file that I sent you on the right, because you're going to be importing the file I sent you. So first thing we're going to do is let's do channels first, because they're a little bit harder. And we're going to go ahead and hit File and hit Open. And we're going to go into Downloads. And we're going to go into My Code Plugs, and we're going to go into Export, and we're going to open up Channels right here. So we're going to double click that, and here is the channel data. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit File, and we're going to open again, and we're going to move up and get out of Export, and we're going to open up the file I sent you, which is version 2.05 channel. So we've got your stuff on the left, the new stuff on the right. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to go to your stuff on the left, and we're going to move the slider down until we get to the number. And remember, I had put my custom stuff at 3,000, so we're watching the numbers right here. It's these numbers that are important to us. And we're going to want to get down to 3,000. If you put your stuff at 2,000, that's where you'll go to. Now notice, okay, here is 610 and 611. Those are the last 2 channels in the standard code plug. And here's your custom stuff at 3,000. So what I'm going to want to do is I want to place the cursor before the first quote mark on the line with 3,000, and I'm going to want to start holding shift and down arrowing until we get to the bottom. You're going to notice 4001 and 4002. Those are the last channels in your code plug. Those are always there. You can change the frequencies in there, and what we have, actually it's not in this one, but what will normally be in there is the ISS frequencies. But we want to copy all of your custom stuff. So I copied all mine from 3000 and the two standard channels in there, and I'm going to want to go over to the file I sent you, and I want to go all the way down to the end. And there's the end. Okay, and we notice the 4001 and 4002 are here. But we also notice the 611 that we saw in the other stuff, and we copied everything after that. What you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to select these two channels. Oh, excuse me. When we went over here, I didn't go up into edit and say copy, okay? So I do want to copy all this stuff. So go into edit and say copy. And then now we're going to go over here. We've selected these two things. Now we're going to come in here and edit, and we're going to say paste. So see, it's moved everything over here. If we go down to the end, we'll notice we even move the last two channels here. And we'll notice they have the ISS frequencies in them. Okay. So what we've done is actually we moved your custom stuff from your custom code plug into my code plug update. So what we want to do now is we're going to want to say, actually the easiest way of doing it is we're just going to click it off here. We're going to click and close this, and it's going to ask us if we want to save this, and we're going to want to say yes. Then we're going to go here and we're going to close this off. We didn't really make any modifications, so it's just going to close. Okay, so we've done the channels. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the talk groups. So we're going to go into File. We're going to open your exported talk group file. We happen to be in export right here. And we're going to open up talk groups. And we're now also going to open up the file I sent you, open. And we got to get out of the talk group thing. We're going to move up again, and we're going to, here's the talk group file I sent you, v.205. We're going to open that. Okay, we're going to go into your file, your custom file. We're going to go all the way down to the end. And we're going to notice here, okay, see, here's all the things 131, and here you started at 200. There's only one custom talk group. So we're going to copy this. We're going to click before that. We're going to hold down on the shift key. We're going to arrow down, and we're going to go into edit, and we're going to say copy. We're going to go into the file that I sent you, and we're going to go down to the bottom. Here's the 131 again. We're going to put the cursor right there, and we're going to say paste. And we've moved your custom stuff into the stuff I've sent you. We're going to want to click this off. We're going to want to say yes to the save. We're going to want to click this off, and we've closed that file. The next thing we're going to want to go to is zone. So we're going to say File, Open, and we're going to grab, let's find zone here in the exports. And so we're in export. We're going to select zone. And you can see number 60 here is where you started your custom data. And we're going to want to say File, Open. And we're going to want to move out of the export folder and move up one to where I have the zone file that I sent you, v2.05 zone. And we're going to open that. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take the data that you put in, the zone data, which is only one thing here right now. We're going to want to put the cursor right at the beginning. We're going to hold down the shift key and down arrow, and we're going to copy it. Then we're going to want to go into the file that I sent you. We're going to want to put the cursor right at the end here, and we're going to want to say paste. and we've got your custom data in the new file here. We're going to want to click off on this, save the file, and close this file also. Last but not least, you may or may not have any custom scan data, which means you don't have to do this. You may not have had any talk group things. You don't have to do that, but we're going to show you how to do scan anyway. It's the same as everything else. File, we're going to open, and we're in the export folder here, and we're going to want to find scan list. Here it is. We're going to want to open it. We're going to want to open, go to File, Open, and we're going to want to open, we're going to want to back up out of the export folder and back up one more, and we're going to get the scan list that I sent you, v2.05. We're going to open that. Okay, we're going to go into the custom scan list, and look here at 60, which is where you started your custom data. We're going to want to put the cursor there, hold down on the Shift key, arrow down, and copy. Edit, copy. We're going to want to go into this, the new stuff that I sent you. I want to put the cursor at the end here, and we're going to go up here and say paste. And we're going to close this off and save it. We're going to want to close this off, and we're going to want to close off Notepad++. We're done. Okay, we've essentially created, let's look at these. These 4 files, we moved your custom data into my Nassau Centered Code Plug update. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to import that into your code plug. How do we do that? Here we are on the code plug. Oh, actually, I wonder if I can do that. No, I can't actually. I'm just going to show you how to import it. Trust me that it does work. Okay, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to say import. We're going to want to do these individually because sometimes if you do them all at once, CPS and especially RT systems, which doesn't work very well at this, can get confused if you don't do it in a certain order. So first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to import the talk groups. So what we're going to want to do is double click on talk groups, and we're going to go to downloads here, and we're going to import the new talk group, the v2.05 talk group. So we're going to want to double click that, and we're going to want to say import. And we import it. Next we're going to go to tools, say import, say OK. The second thing we're going to want to import is channel. We got the channels here. We're going to want to go to download again, and we're going to want to double click on v2.05 channel. And we're going to want to say import. And we've imported the channels in there. Next thing we're going to want to do is go to Tool and say Import. We're going to want to import the custom zone. So we're going to double click on Zone, and we're going to click on the v2.05 zone. And we're going to want to say Import. We've imported the zone. Now we're going to want to go to Tool, Import. Okay, and if you did a scan group, then we're going to import that here, scan list. And we're going to want to go to downloads and scan list. And we're going to want to say import. Okay, what we've done is we've imported everything in here. So now your code plug and the updates I have sent you have all been merged. Next thing we're going to want to do, and you always want to do this, you always want to save, go to Save As, and we're going to want to save this, let me move up to my code plugs. See, I have my code plug 2.04 is the old code plug. We're going to want to save this to the next update, which is 2.05. Never save it to your old code plug because you're just going to destroy everything that you did. Always save it to an updated version. So we're going to say, instead of 2.04, we're going to say 2.05, and we're going to say save. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to write this to your radio. And there's no rate. Okay, save file. Okay, you're going to want to write this to your radio. I do not have a radio connected, but you guys know how to do this, and you should be on your way. Any questions? Please get a hold of me. Let me know what's going on, and we'll be talking about this obviously at the meeting, and everyone can grab this hopefully off of YouTube. I'm going to be uploading it. So take care. Hope you enjoyed.